Okay, I think I am, I think I'm actually live here. So as soon as you see this, as soon as you hear this, go into the chat, say hello, let me know that you're here. It's really nice to be here with you, to see everybody. I don't usually go live on this channel, but I did, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, randomly, I decided to do that, and it was great. We had a really nice conversation. And I know that I've been really slacking on making videos for this channel because I've got 3 different YouTube channels now, and I have 2 different podcasts, and I have my weekly blog, and I no longer have a social media manager. I'm kind of in between people right now, so I'm back to doing all of my own social media, which includes Instagram 5 days a week and LinkedIn 3 to 4 days a week, and my Facebook page and private Facebook groups that I manage, and all these other things. So unfortunately, this particular channel has really just fallen by the wayside, and not by choice. I love doing the audio gear tutorials and reviews on this channel, and I love doing all of the various tutorials for post processing and just kind of talking about audio in general. And so, one of the things that I really wanted to do here today is to give you a chance to guess at what this new piece of gear is that I am using today. I'm not even going to tell you what type of gear it is. I'm just going to tell you that I am using a new piece of gear. It may be hardware, it may be software. It's obviously not this microphone because this is the same mic that I always use. But you can go ahead and listen to this broadcast and listen to this live stream and try to guess what I am using that's new that you've never seen before. And it's not visible here on screen. So I see that some folks are starting to tune in. Hit me up in the chat as soon as you get in here so that I know you can see me, you can hear me, that I know that you're here. And as soon as you have a question, anything about audio, I am just going to sit here. We're probably not going to have a lot of folks because I didn't announce this, I didn't plan it, I didn't schedule it. But like I said, toss any questions you have about audio into the chat. Say hello and let me know that you're here, and try to guess what the new piece of gear is that I'm using right now. It is not visible in the screen. It's not visible in the shot. It might be hardware. It might be software. We don't know. The only thing you know for sure is it's not this mic, because this is the same GrooveTubes GT50 that I always use. It's my baby. It's my baby. So, I am basically here just to take any questions, say hello to anybody who's out there. I see we don't really have, um, oh, yeah, here we go. So much for the headset. Power Talk podcast. William, what's your podcast about? You know what, William, if you want to, why don't you come on, if you're in a position where you can come on screen, I'm going to send a link right here in the chat. Join me on camera. If you want to, you can hit that URL that I just put there in the chat. You can show up on screen and we can have a nice conversation here in real time. I've got about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes to hang out, and I'd love to hear what your Power Talk podcast is about. So that would be great. But for anybody else who may or may not be clicking into this, and it may be nobody else right now. I may have just picked a super weird time to go live here, but as I said, this was not planned. It was just something that I decided to do in the moment, and I'm not cross promoting this stream anywhere else, so it really is just us audio nerds here. Did anybody see recently Curtis Judd, who has one of the best audio YouTube channels, Curtis and Bandrew from Podcastage, and Mike Delgadio from his Booth Junkie, the 3 of them, and somebody that I wish I could remember his name right now that I did not know before, but I've since started following his channel. 4 fantastic audio YouTubers started. They did a 1-hour live stream with the 4 of them, and it was really, really cool. I hope to do more of those. And Curtis, if you're paying attention, I'd love to be involved in that someday, because as you can see from the one person watching my live stream, I have quite an audience I can bring to you. Oh my goodness. I'm standing by, William, waiting for you. Um, so I guess for anybody who's watching the replay, let me go through some of the comments, some of the questions that have actually showed up recently on the channel. So just maneuver my screens around here. This is obviously super professional because I totally planned to go live 3 minutes before I actually did. So I'm going to be strolling through the comments here. Okay, first comment came in 6 hours ago on the channel. Which mic would you recommend for music or recording guitar and vocals? Because I said they were talking about, that's a comment on the Rode VideoMic NTG full demo. So a microphone that I would recommend for recording guitar and vocals. Basically none of the on-camera budget shotgun mics. So the Rode Video Micro, the Movo VXR10. Well, of those, you all know that I would prefer the Movo. I would prefer the Movo. In fact, I've done. Oh, hang on. William might be checking in here. He might be clicking in. We have. Oh, you're. Oh, you're. Be safe, my friend.
Be safe, my friend. Oh, I'm good. I couldn't ask this.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I got to remove William from the stream there just because he's breaking up and he's not staying in. I don't want anybody who's driving to do anything that's not safe. So make sure that you're being safe if you pop into this. We'll try that again in just a minute here. Let's see, William. Do I have you, or is it totally breaking up still? No, totally breaking up still. All right, so I'm going to go back to this question that I've got here. Which mic would you recommend for guitar, for vocals? So if you're choosing from the low end budget on-camera shotgun mics, the Movo VXR10 is definitely going to be better than the Rode Video Micro, simply because the Movo is a more neutral. It's a more neutral sound. The Movo also has a much wider dynamic range. I'm sorry, it has a much wider frequency response, going from I think 50 hertz all the way up to 16 kilohertz, whereas the Rode Video Micro is it has like a 100 hertz roll off, which means you're not going to capture any low end or any bass at all. And so if you are going to do this for music or vocals, sung vocals, you're going to want to go with a microphone that's going to give you a wider frequency response. So if you're going to choose between the Video Micro and the Movo VXR10, definitely choose the Movo. Having said that, neither of them is ideal for this. They don't have the SPL ratings, the sound pressure levels, right? They don't have. They're not meant for that. They're not designed to be robust in a way that would really accentuate all the good features of your voice for singing, for music, of a guitar, whatever. So if you're going to choose a microphone, one microphone for doing music, for doing singing, for doing guitar, I would definitely choose either the SM58 or the SM57. Each of these will cost you about $100. They are the exact same microphone. The only difference is the SM58 has a built-in pop filter. Okay, it's got a metal pop filter built, a grill on the end of it. The SM57 does not. So typically you see the 57 used up against guitar cabinets because it's flat on the front. You can get it right up on the grill. You would see it on acoustic guitars. It's a dynamic mic. Both of them are dynamic mics. So it's not going to give you the kind of detail or clarity that you're going to get from a large diaphragm condenser or even a small diaphragm condenser mic, like a pencil mic. But by using a SM58 or an SM57, the dynamic mic, that is going to give you a lot of background rejection, which for the average content creator who's not in a well-treated, well-isolated home studio, like I'm lucky to be in these days, although I wasn't at the beginning of my content career, that's going to do a lot better for you than using. Oh, I see right here. Ian just popped in with, "I love the SM58. Great mic. Use it all the time." Yes, yes, yes. Ian, good to see you, my friend. We have a very private public live stream here with I think it's just the two of us. Um, so yeah, I would say get yourself a budget interface. If you grab a PreSonus audio box USB or something like that for 80 or 90 bucks, and you grab yourself an SM58 or SM57, now for under 200 bucks, which I know is a lot of money to a lot of people, but you're set. You're set for a long time. You can make some killer music, some killer home recordings with just an SM58 or an SM57. And you're going to get a mic that's actually designed for music. And then you get the bonus of the fact that they're also real professional grade XLR mics that are used on albums and in pro studios that have been used for decades, which means if you're going to do some voiceover, some narration, do talking head stuff like this, live stream, you can use it for that and they're going to sound great. So that is that's the answer to what mic would I recommend for music recording, guitar, and vocals. And Ian's got another comment here. The SM58 takes out that awful front room sound that I inherited when I moved into my house. Cheers. Exactly. I'm not actually thirsty, but I'm finding myself, I'm doing so much live streaming and video production lately that I'm getting parched and I'm getting the dry mouth thing that doesn't sound great in a very sensitive microphone like this. So I'm taking sips of water for your benefit. By the way, at any point, anybody who's watching on the replay or now live, try to guess what the new piece of gear is that I am testing out for not exactly for the first time, but it's the first time that you are hearing it. I have a new piece of audio gear. It might be software, it might be hardware, but it's not in the frame. It's not in the frame at all. So it's not it's not the headphones, it's not the microphone. But go ahead, try to guess the piece of gear that I'm using. On Friday, I am finally dropping a new video on this channel. I know it's been way too long. It's been like 6 weeks or something, all about this new piece of gear. And I think you're really going to like that video. It's a lot of fun. So let's see. I'm just going through the comments on the channel to see if there's anything. Has anyone ever told you you look like a white Snoop Dogg? Amazingly, yes. I've heard that many, many times and I continued to be perplexed by it. But thank you for that comment on on one of these videos. Let's see here. I appreciate. There's all these kind comments. This was such a valuable series, great review, all this stuff. But I'm looking for a question, or for Ian to, or somebody who's watching to pop in. If you scroll up in the chat, or maybe I'll just toss it in here again. You can actually join me live on video right now if you're not driving and if you're in a safe environment where you can do that. You can click that link and join me on video, and we can have a nice conversation. So going through some of these, this is very informative, great review. I appreciate all of that. Let's see. This was so comprehensive. I love all the comments. I don't see a lot of questions. I can't tell if that means I'm doing a bad job of engagement on this channel or if I'm just so thorough that nobody has a single question. Wow, I'm scrolled back now 4 months ago and I cannot find another question on any of the videos. So I guess unless you want to hear me just continue to prattle to myself for a while, the whole purpose of this was to field some live questions about audio, and for you to have a chance to guess the new piece of gear that I'm using, which is going up on a video on Friday, like I said. So go into the chat, try to guess the piece of gear that I'm using. Tell me what you think it is. Doesn't have to be specific. You don't have to guess the brand. And there's no winners here. There's no prize at the end. So so you can just go for it and try to guess. But if there are no questions, comments, concerns coming in, if nobody else wants to jump on the video, this was a spur of the moment live, so I can just peace out and head on back into the work that I've been doing. And we've got oh, here we go. We've got a few different comments coming in. Hank, have you had any Zoom chats with your peers? So many, so many. My entire life is Zoom chats now. And it was before too, because I've been on Zoom for years. I have international clientele, right? Many of my clients are all over the world. So we've always used Zoom to have meetings to talk about upcoming events that I'm doing for them. And I've used Zoom for years for all the private coaching and consulting that I do. I do, you know, business coaching for small business owners and entrepreneurs. I do branding and storytelling and, that kind of story marketing and accountability and those sorts of things. But yeah, I've also been very, very lucky to have some great Zoom chats with just with my peers, my friends in various industries. I've reconnected with many magicians from my previous career as a full-time magician, which has been fun. On my main channel, on the Brian Miller Speaks channel, I have or whatever it's called now, Brian Miller, author, speaker, magician. I just did a live episode of my podcast Beyond Networking, where I had a phenomenal magician, one of my mentors in magic, who was like the first person who really made a pivot in magic to virtual magic shows, and he's done dozens of them in the last 2 months, which is incredible. And so we were talking about the future of live entertainment and in-person entertainment and where we think that's going. So yes, I have, Hank, and you are welcome to click that URL that I threw into the chat and jump in live here on video if you'd like to. Ian has a guess. He's guessing audio compressor. It's a great guess, Ian. I'm not confirming or denying anything until the episode goes up or the video goes up on Friday. But it's a good guess. I'm curious, Ian, why do you think it's an audio compressor? Why guess a compressor? You might be right. You might not be. We're not sure. So, okay, unless anybody is jumping in on the live video, I will probably just close this out and say it was nice to see the handful of you who popped in here. Obviously, I need to schedule these, let you know in advance, so we can have a bigger group. We had a great group conversation with, I don't know, 15 or 20 folks a couple weeks ago. I'll have to go look at the day and time that I went on there and see if I can replicate that so it's an easier time. I know, like here on the East Coast of the US, it's like in the middle of the workday. It's like in the mid-afternoon, so probably not the ideal time for anybody. But anyway, Hank and William and Ian, it was good to see you all. I'm probably not going to leave this live stream up for a replay because I don't think there's a tremendous amount of value being conveyed to leave it on my channel as a replay. Having said that, oh, Ian's got to guess why. Strong audio. That strong audio would be a good indicator of a compressor. So we'll have to find out on Friday. Ian, what have you been testing out lately? And are you in a situation where you could jump on a video, where you can actually hop on and have a real-time conversation with me here on screen? If you can, hit that link. I'll wait another 30 seconds or a minute. And if you're not around, no worries. I'm going to hop off of this thing in just a minute. This just reminds me of what it feels like to do virtual magic shows. I've only done a couple. It's not really, where my career is going, but I'm very happy to do them for clients who are interested in it. And it's just so funny doing a virtual magic show where it's like a live stream, like a private live stream, where it just feels like I'm doing a magic to myself, and you kind of just have no idea if people are watching, engaging, or whatever. Here we go. Ian's been making weekly videos for kids, keeping the business running in the current situation. No kidding. I would love to hear more about that, Ian. So maybe we can schedule a time when I'm going to do a live and have a few folks that are around to actually hop on and have a real-time conversation because I love the ability to do that with this particular software. Composing, performing, filming, editing, sending out to 300 customers. Yes, so many things. I'd love to hear more some point about the composing aspect of that. One of the members of a mastermind that I've been running for the last year and a half is a music composer in the UK, and he owns his own independent recording studio. And he's been in this time also leaning really heavily into the composing and the editing and the mixing because he can't actually have people in his studio where he's tracking for them right now. So it's been really interesting seeing him make that pivot. And that's another the beauty of having a mastermind is being able to work that stuff out. I'm thrilled to say, for those of you who know that I was promoting a new mastermind that I'm starting soon, it's very high priced, high ticket, high touch mastermind. I was just hand picking four really, really successful, really engaged, really motivated folks to get into this new mastermind I'm calling the Leadership Mastermind. And we filled it. I got four folks in. We closed it out. I never even had to do a public launch. I never had to do a series of 30-minute salesy webinars to try to convince people to get in. Four people signed up. We're good to go. We're starting next week. So I'm thrilled about that. I am looking for a way to build out this audio community. I know this channel is small, but I love the fact that there's only 600 people here because I know exactly who you all are, which I don't know about my main channel, right? I got 15,000 people on my main channel, 16,000. I don't know who all those people are, what their preferences are, what kind of content they're interested in, because that's such a generic channel, or it's a channel that is all encompassing for my work. But here, I know the 600 of you that are here care about audio for content on the internet. Essentially, that is what you care about. So I'm really looking for a way to build out the audio community here. Oh, look at this! Look at this! We actually have a live human being.
Hi.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Hi. I'm all right. Had a terrible haircut because we can't go to the hairdressers, so it's just been locked off. But you can see it's totally dark here, no light, and I'm tired out sitting there watching you, having a little chuckle to myself because I'm looking at the numbers there. I think we got to about 3 at one there, did we?
I think we did. Yeah, I think we had 3. It's so funny because, like I said, I jumped on without warning here, and you never know what's going to happen when you don't tell people in advance to lock it off. Although I did this 2 weeks ago, and we had a couple dozen people that were in out of nowhere, and I always wonder, if I look at my demographics, I bet there's a lot of folks on this channel who are overseas, and that me in the East Coast of the US, I'm probably mostly on the wrong time when I think to go live.
I think I'm on the wrong time as well, because every time you guys over in the USA are broadcasting, it's the middle of the night here.
Well,
terrible. Or there's something on TV.
Yeah, that's it. It really is hard to find the right time for everybody. But it's nice to meet you in person or in real time. Yeah, it's so funny. So you're in the UK, right?
Oh yeah, south of the south part of the UK, southeast.
Okay, yeah. So this I don't know if you were clicking on, so I don't know if you heard the last thing I said as you were clicking on, because there's probably a little delay there, but I was saying that there's a member of a mastermind that I've been running for the last year and a half who is in London, and he owns an independent recording studio, his own recording studio in London, and he's a composer, and he's been making a huge pivot during this time as well because he can't bring people into his studio to track, which is normally so he's running workshops to teach independent musicians how to do composing for film. What are you doing?
The current situation here is terrible for musicians. It's really awful. We can't work. There's no theatres working. There's no orchestras working. We can't do anything live. We have, luck would have it, we have a family business here. Helen and my other half She runs a business for little kiddies called Sing Rainbows. And what I do is I write the music and she writes the words, and I sit on a keyboard upstairs in a little bedroom composing, and she composes, then I put them together. And now we're having to compose, perform, record it, multi-track it on the video editing, get her to mime to the songs as well, because we pre-record the vocals, otherwise the sound is terrible in the front room. Video, then video the intros, then the B-roll. I tell you what, it's a terrible job. Takes all week. Takes a week. Half-hour video.
I feel all of that right inside me, because I am currently in an unsustainable content calendar. So right now I now have 3 YouTube channels, because I have my main one, and then I have obviously this one, which is falling behind because I'm buried, and then I have the every Monday night little side project that my buddy Adam and I have been doing. But all of these take a tremendous amount of time. Then I have my main podcast, which has weekly episodes. I write a weekly blog that never misses. I maintain 6 different social media sites, and also sometimes I do things that people actually pay me for that I have to focus on. So, you know, it's like
a whipping post, isn't it, really?
It is. It's just people have yeah, people have no idea the amount of time it takes to produce even a 5-minute video if you care about the quality. It's massive. It's massive.
The other thing, Brian, the other thing I've found is you can take a video one day, especially in this blooming country, the weather changes from day to day, and the lighting changes, and then getting them to match, it can be a nightmare. You know, when you're doing, say, recording the songs on one day and it's sunny, then the next day it's chucking with rain, and you're putting your lights as high as you can get them, and you try and get the colors to match for the program you're putting out. It's very difficult, really difficult in a home situation.
Absolutely. And that is why right now I've got my curtains open behind me, because I was just working for the day, where I don't sit in the dark in mood lighting during the day when I'm actually just working. But all of my videos always have the curtains closed, and they always have whatever lights on. And that's because sometimes it takes days to produce a video, and I use all my lights to control it. That's why I never have the windows open when I film videos. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, your videos are always dead distant. I'm really jealous. I'm jealous of your room. It's fantastic. You've got a house there. You've got a wife who lets you take over a whole room for yourself as well.
Yeah, I mean, not only did she let me take over this room, I mean, when we bought this house, one of the conditions that when we were looking for a new house was we were looking for a 4-bedroom. We only needed a 3-bedroom, but we were only looking for a 4-bedroom because I needed one room to dedicate to a home studio, and that was just part of the game. And so we bought the house under that condition. Yeah, so this is actually it's a bigger room than you realize. Well, I don't know how on video if people can tell, because it's hard to tell.
It looks huge. It looks like there's a big distance to the back there, where you've got your posh little deflectors there.
Yeah. I set up this room so that there are 3 distinctly different angles I can film from for different reasons. I can film in this direction, where you've seen the computer and the treatment behind my computer, and then I can film in this direction and get this nice lovely thing, and then I can shoot off at an angle and hit all the amplifiers and guitars and all that stuff over there, and it's good. But it's like, I always tell people, whenever someone says they're jealous of this room, I'm like, yeah, but I've been self-employed for 15 years, and I only built this room a year ago. It's like, it takes a while to get to this.
38 years of whipping post. Eventually you go mad.
Oh, I can't believe the time. And it's like you said, musicians. So my industry, I'm a speaker. 95% of my work was stepping on stages. And that's not only did I lose all my contracts until, well, indefinitely, did everything disappear, but we don't even know when it's going to come back. It's not like we think it's going to come back in a few months. It could be years. And so I think that's the harder thing, in your head, it's not just that I lost all my contracts for the next 6 months. It's I don't even know if then stuff is going to come back.
It's quite scary, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
if you work for yourself, the current situation now is really very, very scary. But I'm really, really lucky. I actually only started using YouTube a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I didn't. I never really took it very seriously until I saw guys like you actually, and there are some other guys I've been watching. Just watching what they're doing, and I thought, well, I'll have a go myself. And thank goodness I did that, because the learning curve was massive. But it's now paying off because it's keeping us going. It literally is keeping us going here now. So it's been a savior.
I hear you. I'm so glad you said that, because for years I've been so many of my colleagues that have refused to spend the time investing in an online audience or content creation or learning how to use even the most basic of gear or do the most basic editing. They are really regretting that right now, because guys like me got to leap year.
Yeah, and presentation skills as well. Learning presentation skills from others. That's the thing. There was one time I would never ever have spoken on a camera ever in my life, and it wasn't until about a year ago I started actually speaking on a film and thought, oh, I'll have a go. It was terrible, but then I had to learn to edit to get the ums, the the rubbish out, and then how do you make a video interesting, and then how do you make it look good? And it's such a big learning thing. But I've learned such a lot of stuff from you guys, people like you and the basic filmmaker Kevin, who is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's such a great teacher, and he's really helped me. He's coached me and helped me, and I've watched guys like you all over the world and different presenting styles, and then gradually got used to the fact, okay, I can't help the way I look, especially at the moment with this awful haircut, because we can't go to the hairdressers. And I don't care anymore. I just think, oh well, I'll just talk and that's it now.
By the end of this quarantine, I'm going to end up having hair like I had when I played in 80s hair metal bands, because you can't. I've had my hair back tied in every video, my hair tied back in every video for like, I don't know, the last 6 weeks, because I was due for a cut right at the beginning of the lockdown, and I mean, here, look at this.
Laurel. Wait, there it is. Hey, lovely.
There's so much. Yeah, this is gonna. Yeah, if I keep it tied back and I keep the headphones on like this, you really can't tell. But as soon as I let it down, I can't do videos right now with my hair down.
Well, I had hair like yours because I was in pop groups and whatever in the 70s, so I had very long hair. But this color, I don't think so.
Oh, if I had that color, I would let it go. I would go full wizard. People keep asking me, because I've got grays that all started coming in. They start getting scraggly and stuff, and people said, "Are you going to color it?" I'm like, "No, I was a magician. I'm just going to go wizard." Like, why wouldn't I? So, oh man, Ian. So listen, yeah, it was great to see you. I know it's late there. I'm gonna let you go. I think it's literally just us having a conversation, but I'm thoroughly enjoying the fact that we got to do that. How's
great? It's really great.
Isn't this cool?
Really good. Quality's fantastic.
Can switch it.
It's
I
fantastic.
I love this software. I've been using this software now for live streaming for the last 4 to 6 weeks, and it's the best. It's $20 a month, and I know we're all tired of paying another fee. It's the best $20 a month I've spent. It's so good. Yeah.
And the audio is super. The audio is really good. Really, really good.
Great. Well, you'll find out on Friday that it's not the software doing it.
I want to know quick.
I know you do. It's so, you're gonna like this video I got coming up on Friday, because it's a piece of gear I've never used before, and I've never used anything like it before. So I made a video of me basically discovering how to use it as I was making the video, and I'm really, really happy with the sound I'm getting out of this.
Really, really, really punching through, even on an iPad.
Great. Well,
fantastic.
I'm glad to hear it. It was so good to meet you officially, and have a lovely evening. Enjoy all the videos, and
thank you.
Hang in there, man.
You'll keep it going. Start
All
again
right.
tomorrow morning. For now.
All right. We'll see you
Cheers, guys.
soon. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a lot of fun to have Ian pop in here. I don't know if I'm going to leave this up for a replay. If I do, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Brian Miller, and always remember, our world is a shared experience. So get out there, sound better, level up, and, hang in there. It's going to be okay.